Hello boys and girls, this is Frozgard for another audio commentary on WCReplays.com. This audio commentary is copyrighted 2007 WCReplays.com, so don't go stealing it or, I don't know, like something bad might happen. Anyways, with that out of the way, I mean it's like the boring stuff from all the replays. Like, we're gonna watch a replay today between Freak and Pipinkar. Who is a player in EFC, which is my clan, and, well, Freak, you all know him. He's the guy who also does audios on WCReplays.com. I have to say this audio is gonna suck, so if you don't like sucky audios, just turn it off right now, because, well, first of all, I'm drunk, and second of all, Freak is gonna lose, so, I mean, it can only suck, because, well, if Freak is gonna lose, then it can't be good audio, because otherwise Freak would do audios on his losses. Well, he doesn't, so, well, it's gotta be sucky audio then. Anyways, yeah, get a game pause at the 15-second mark at Freak's point of view. This is just to show some, like, minor mistakes that he does at the beginning. But, yeah, when you load up the replay, you will see that he's playing Orc, and this is probably because Pipinka is playing Undead. The map is Twisted Meadows, and he doesn't feel like defending against the guard harass and like camping his expo and all that good stuff. So he thinks with the imbalanced Orc he can win against any Undead player, because, well, I mean, Orc is so imbalanced against Undead, and it's so easy to win with Orc against Undead. So, I hope you guys are at the 15-second mark, so we can get this started in 3, 2, 1, on pause. So, the first thing you'll notice is that, well, he doesn't micro his peon line. I mean, he doesn't... Well, he feels it's obviously not important, and he made his first burrow a bit late, but, well, I mean, that's just the kind of sloppy play you get from players who play Orc because they think it's imbalanced, and who don't think it's actually a race which you actually have to master, and you have to play a bit before you actually know how to play it. So, on the other side of the map, I mean, I'm just taking Fog of War off. I just wanted to point that out, that he doesn't even micro his peons. I mean, he's just lazy like that. And actually, I mean, if you watch his point of view, like, all he does is, like, switch between his altar and his main base, and it's like, what the hell is that? It's like, why? I mean, it's totally useless. Whereas, if you would at least micro his peon line, I mean, okay, this is not a diagonal position, so you don't get that much out of it, but you would get at least, I don't know, it's like 20-30 gold out of it. So, would be at least something, and you would be able to attack a little bit faster, or, I mean, it's like, you would have that gold more, which would be a bit more useful than just selecting your Great Hall and your Altar of Storms. And also notice the scout peon, which is like way too late. I mean, it's like either like scout with the altar peon, or on a diagonal map you can actually scout with a third peon that comes out. I mean, like, first one goes to gold while you take one from gold, which builds the first burrow, and the second one builds the barracks. And with the third one you can actually scout on the diagonal map if you actually mine with the peon mine trick. And yeah, here the scouting was like abysmally too late, because, I mean, you see the Acolyte was already pretty much at his base, whereas the Acolyte is very, very slow, and the peon is just slow. Well, actually the Acolyte is also slow, but he came from a way longer way. So, yeah, actually, take Fog of War off, or just switch to one of the observers, and you will see that the Death Knight is coming in. And that is pretty smart play. I mean, that's something which is, which I find is pretty smart on Twisted Meadows, is to get a fast Death Knight and to go harass the Orc player. Because Otherwise, he will be able to creep to level 2 without a problem, of course. I mean, if you go Fiends, he will be level 2 and he will be able to harass you without a problem, and that is not a thing you want to do. So even if you go Fiends, it's usually best to get a fast Death Knight and get a Fiends a bit later, so you can actually go harass, so you can prevent him from getting a quick level 2. Freak does the, well, pretty obvious thing by actually creeping out a small gnaw spot with his grunts while he's already attacking, and it looks like he, well, I don't know, I'm not,
We're under attack.
I don't want to bad talk Freak, but I mean, he should be putting up his third bar right now, but well. Pipinka, meanwhile, I mean, he puts up his graveyard, which is going to be needed afterwards for destroyers, because, well, of course, 2 strats mainly. I mean, either go mass destroyers or go, I mean, when you start with ghouls, of course, or start with ghouls and switch later to fiends. And here you will see that there's something very interesting. I mean, very, very risky move by Pipinka. And it actually does pay off, but it's something you have to be very, very, I mean, Warcraft is a game of strategy, which means that sometimes you have to take risks. It's not only like out-microing your opponent and choosing the right units, but it's also taking your risks well and knowing when to take them and knowing when not to take them. So he took a big risk by creeping the shop there. I mean, at least all the big creeps, and he actually got an experience tome, which was very, very helpful. And it did pay off, but it was risky because actually Freak's Farseer was pretty close, and well, I mean, it's like 5 seconds later, and the Farseer would have been there, so that was pretty risky. And here's some nice harass by Freak, and he did put down his third bar, so that's I can't blame him from that. And now, like, the Farseer harass mainly to get a Chain Lightning off, but he doesn't have a Chain Lightning anymore, so, well, I mean, that was kind of useless. And the Death Knight is level 3, while the Farseer is level 2. And that's usually not very good in an Orc versus Undead match, because, I mean, especially if the Undead goes Ghouls, because then he has a much faster attack, and he has a hero level advantage. So what does the Orc player have? Well, the only thing he can have is Expo at tier 2, so let's see how Freak gets his fast Expo at tier 2. He starts it off by actually creeping an orange spot, which is totally unrelated to an Expo. And, well, it's, yeah, I mean, at around 6 minutes, he crept, no, I mean, he got his TC and he got his first tier 2 buildings up, so at around 6 minutes, that's around the time where you should creep your Expo spot if you want to get Expo. And if you don't want Expo, well, go tier 3. So, let's see how many minutes from 6 minutes onwards Freak needs to actually creep an Expo and then put it up. Because you see at Pipinka's base, he put up 2 slaughterhouses, and I mean, it's pretty obvious what it's going to be. It's going to be dual Rex destroyers. Also note the